custom financial planning. So here in the custom financial planning, we have in the overview, we will see that we have two cubes. First is the plan 1 cube and the second is the CUST FS cube. So in the cube, in the plan 1 cube, this is a BSO cube, that is block storage option, and the CUST FS is an aggregate storage option. So in this cube, we have the account dimension, department, entity, HSP view, period, product, scenario, version, and year. In the ASO cube, that is the CUSTFS, we have account dimension, entity, period, product, scenario, version, and year dimension. Okay, now we will see the dimensions in a bit detail. So for that, I have gone to the navigator and then to the dimensions. So here we have the account dimension. So in account dimension, we have a financial account as a member. In financial account, we have the children, revenue planning, balance sheet planning, income statement, indirect cash flow statement, and expense planning. In revenue planning, we have the revenue drivers with us, in which we have predefined revenue drivers. So in predefined revenue drivers, we have product revenue drivers, which have children named a volume, average selling price, discount percent, return percent, and the siblings of product revenue drivers are support, bad debt, and the net material sales revenue. Then we have the sibling of predefined revenue driver as predefined cost of sales drivers. So here we have direct labor per unit, material unit cost, overhead percent, freight percent, and other cost of sales. Okay, so this was the revenue planning. So we can say that revenue planning consists of the drivers, that are the revenue drivers, and the cost of sales drivers. After that, we will move forward to the balance sheet planning. So in balance sheet planning, we have balance sheet drivers with us, predefined balance sheet accounts, and the balance sheet key performance indicators. So in balance sheet drivers, we have predefined balance sheet drivers, which are day sales outstanding, days in inventory, prepaid expense percent of operating expense, and so on. So these members are associated with a member formula. So I will show you the member formula here. So here we can see that the member is associated with the member formulas. Okay. So this was about the predefined balance sheet drivers. Then we have the predefined balance sheet accounts, which further consist of assets, liability, and equity. We will understand it in more detail in the next session. Then we have the balance sheet key performance indicators with us, which consist of return on assets, return on net assets, return on invested capital, cash ratio, working capital, current ratio, quick ratio, debt ratio, and so on. So these balance sheet KPIs are basically the ratios. Okay, so this consists of the this consists of the member formulas. So this was about the balance sheet planning. Now we will move forward to the income statement. So here we have the net income as the child of income statement. When we expand it further, we have income before income taxes. So income before income taxes have its children as operating income that is EBIT, and other expense income. So other expense income consists of both expenses and incomes here. Operating income EBIT consists of gross margin and selling and administrative expenses. So gross margin consists of the operating expenses basically and the operating sales which generate revenue for the business. Then we have with us the income taxes. Then lastly we have the adjustments. So after that, this was all about a summary of income statement. Then we have indirect cash flow with us. Indirect cash flow statement have the cash ending balance, and when we expand it further, we have total cash flows in it. So total cash flow consists of operating activity, investing activity, and financing activity in indirect cash flow statements. Okay, so so we will understand this in more detail in our next session, where we will be understanding more detail about the balance sheet and cash flow together. Then lastly we have expense planning, in which we can see that we have created salary expense planning drivers, which consist of headcounts, basic salaries, workers compensation percent, HR benefit percent, and union benefit percent. So this was a gist of the account dimension. Then we have the department dimension with us. So the department dimension has children as total departments and the total jobs. So here the total department consists of equipment division, construction equipment, and so on. And its sibling is total job, which consists of connects air, UMSA job, wonderful clusters, etc., which are the basically the projects or the jobs we call it as. Then we have the entity with us. So here we have the parent member as the Sanskar entity, which have its children, and we will expand it further. We see the zero level members of it, which are Sanskar USA Civil, Sanskar Civil, New York, etc. Then we have the HSP view dimension. So HSP view dimension is enabled in the application as only when we enable the sandbox while creating the application in it. Okay, so we will understand this sandbox in detail, in a much detail little later. Then we have the period dimension with us, which is a default dimension, and its member consists of beginning balance and year total. When we expand it further, we will have the quarters with us, and the zero level members will be the months. Then we have the product dimension with us, which is a custom dimension, and the scenario is a default dimension in the application. It consists of plan, actual, forecast, variances, etc. So when we talk about the variances, so here we can see that we have actual versus plan variance, then plan versus forecast variance. So these members are associated with the member formula. I will show you that. So here is the member formula. Okay, so here we can see that to calculate the variance between the actual and plan, we have given here a member formula. Then we have the version dimension. So here version dimension consists of the members like total, final, working, sandboxes. So we can see that sandboxes is enabled here. So this was possible only when we will be enabling the sandboxes in the application while creating the application. Okay, so here we will see the two changes in our application when we enable sandboxes. First change is that we will be having another dimension named HSP view dimension, and in the version dimension we will see a member named sandboxes with us. So what happened here is, for example, here in the final I am going to the base member properties. In base member properties, you can see that we have enabled sandboxes. That is why this member is visible to us as the child of sandboxes. Okay, we can edit the data in it using the sandbox member. Then lastly we have the year dimension. So here we have FY 22-26 year. We can add the year dimension by the help of this plus sign. So we can add the year, for example, like I want to add 1 year only in my application. So I will just mention 1 over here, and then I will click on OK, and then I will click on yes over here. We can see that system is adding one more financial year, that is FY27 in the application. Okay, this is how we can add. If we want to add more than 1 year in it, it will help us to add it. Okay, so after making such editing, I'm going to refresh the database first. So this was gist of the application. So one more thing I want to explain you, that here we see that we do not have a currency dimension with us, as this application is not a multi-currency dimension. The default currency of this the default currency of this application is USD. I will show you that in the entity as well. So here we find the base currency and then entity is USD. Okay, so that is why we do not have so this is not a multi-currency application, so we don't have the currency dimension in it. Now I will show you how we can load metadata using data management. So for that I will go to the navigator, and then I will click on data management, which is in integration. So here first of all I will go to the setup. Before that I want to show you my my metadata sheet. Okay, so for that I will go to the metadata folder. So here we have the metadata underscore department underscore job underscore CUSTFIN. Okay, so here we have the few members with us. Okay, so in the first row I will open the notepad. Okay, so here okay, in the first column we see the member name 7900779019. So this is the member name with us. So we will mention it as member name. Okay, and it is in column number A, so we will term it as 1. Then we have the parent member in the column number B, which we term it as 2. And then we have the alias name with us. in column number C, so we will term it as 3. In the D column, we have the data storage property with us, so we will term it as data storage and column number 4. Lastly, we have UDA with us, so I will name it as UDA, and this will be considered as column number 5. Okay, so now I will take you to the data management. In it, my source file, as we can see, is a flat file, so I will be considering it as a file in it. Okay, then here I have already created a target application with us, so it is named as job underscore CUST FS custom. Why it is custom? We are adding a member in the department dimension, which is a custom dimension. So here I have selected the member as alias default, data storage, member name, and parent. Okay. Wait a minute. Where is job? Okay, so this is the job CUST-FS, and another member here we have is UDA. This member is added by us, so we can add a member over here with the help of this sign. Okay, so wait a minute, there is some. First of all, we have mentioned here the application option. So dimension name is department. We need to mention it as it is a custom dimension. Then here I have added the member with the help of this plus sign named UDA. Okay, after making the changes in it, we will then save it. Then I will move forward to the import format. Here I have already created the import format name job underscore IMF. So I will first search for it. So here we have the member name job underscore IMF. We can add the import format with the help of this plus sign. So after that we will name the import format here. Then we have to select the source and the target application. So here we have selected the source as file and the target as the job underscore CUST-FS custom. The file type here is delimited all data type as we are loading metadata. We can see that the file here is a comma delimiter, so .csv file. So here the file delimiter is also comma over here. Then we do the mapping in it. So recently we created a notepad, so we can see that the member name is in the field number 1. Okay, as we have seen that in the data sheet it was in the column number A. Then in the second column we had the parent member, so we have mentioned the field number as 2 over here. Then the alias name is mentioned as 3. Fourth is the data storage, and fifth is the UDA. So here we have added UDA with the help of this add option. So here in the add, I will then go to the dimension row and then I will click on UDA. So we will get the UDA option over here, and then we can add the field name. Okay, so this is how we have edited the import format. Then we will save it. Then we will move forward to the location. So here we have created the location with the name job underscore LOC. So The import format, we need to add it with the help of the search icon. Okay, here I will reset it and then search it. So here I have mentioned the import format as job_IMF. After adding the import format, system will automatically pick the source and the target. Okay, after making these changes, I will click on save and then I will move forward to the workflow. So in the workflow, I will first go to the data load mapping. In data load, I will select the location which we have created in the setup previously, which is named as job_LOC. So period here we are selecting is Jan 23 and the category is current. Okay. After that, here I had done the like mapping over here. So for that, I will go to the like, then with the help of this plus sign, I will then add the row into it, and then here I have done the star mapping. Okay, so and then we need to name the rule. Okay, so for I'm deleting it and then I'm going to save it. Okay, similarly I have done the like mapping for data storage, member name, parent, and UDA. We don't need to map the data in it. After data load mapping, I will go to the data load rule. Okay, so here I will add a data load rule. So I will name it as job_DLR, and the input format is job_IMF. And then I will select the file. The file name here was dm_department_jobs. After that I will click on OK and then I will save it. Sorry, I am going to name it as 1 and then I will save the changes that I made into it. Okay, now I will execute the rule over here. So I will click on the import format, import from source, then export to target, and then I will run the rule. Okay, so here our data load rule has the status with a green tick. It means the metadata is being loaded into the application. Okay, so we have got 3 fishes with us. Now we will go to the application and view whether the metadata is being loaded in it or not. So I will go to the dimension and then here I will select the department dimension. Here I will go to the job. Here we will see that we have a member name 079175, 079163. Okay, all the members are available to us with their alias name. Okay, now I will go to its properties and I will view the UDA. So here we can see that we have the UDA name MW in the member name 079175. Okay, so the source UDA is MW and UDA is MW, so which is also present in it. So this is how we load metadata with UDA. Now we will load directly metadata in the application. So for that, first of all, I will create a metadata file. So here I have already created the account metadata. I will show you my file first. So here you see the members. Okay, so all the members are present in it. So this is my entire account metadata file. Now I will then go to the application, and in application I will go to overview. Then I will click on dimension. Here I will click on import over here. Then I will click on create, and then I can directly choose the file from here. So here I'm having the file in the custom financial module in the metadata folder, and this is the account metadata final data. Okay, now I will validate it and then import. Okay, so before refreshing, I will first go to the job in the ribbon, and we see that the metadata is validated and imported with a green tick. Now I will then go to the overview, and then I will refresh the database, and I will refresh database. Okay, so this is how we load the file directly, or we can even make use of the inboxes, inbox outbox, to load the file, and then we can even mention the name of the file directly. I'll show you how we can do that as well. So for that I will go to the import, and then I will click on create, and then I will select the inbox. We can then mention the name of the import file here, and then we can save it as job as well. This I have also explained it previously, so this time I'm not covering this way. Now we are going to see the data load using the data management. Okay, so for that I will go to the data management sheet. So for that I will take you to the setup. First of all, I will show you the data sheet. So here is the data file with us. Which is named as trial balance CUSTFS. So now we are going to load data of trial balance. So this is a sample data that we have with us. Okay, so in the first column we have the member name. In the second column we have the entity name with us. Then in the third column, that is C, we have the department name. And lastly, in the column number D, we have the amount with debit and credit with them, with its suffix. Okay, so what I will do is, now I will go to the data management first, into the setup, and the source system here is file. As we can see that it is a flat file with us, and I will show you that it is a comma delimiter, that is .csv. So after selecting the file, I will then go to the target application. In the target application, here I have already created a target application named TBAL underscore CUSTFS. Okay, this is the target application. Okay, so here After creating the target application, we can see the application details with us. So here is the account, department, entity, HSP view, product, scenario, version, year, and period. Okay, after saving the target application, we will then move to the import format. In the import format, we have created it already, named IMF underscore TBAL. So here it is. So we can add the import format with the help of this plus sign. Okay. So here I have already created it. So the source is file, and the target is TBAL underscore CUSTFS that we have previously created. And the file type here is delimited numeric data. So in it, we are going to map the source and the target. So for that, I will make use of this. I will delete it first. Okay, so now I will go to the sheet. In the first column, we have the member accounts. We have the account member. So I will name it as account, and this will become the field number 1. Then we have the entity with us in the field in the column number B. So we will mention it as field number 2. And for column C, we have the department with us. So we will name it as field number 3. And lastly, we have the amount in the column number D. So we will name it as field number 4. Okay, now we will move to the application. Okay, so in account, we have mentioned field number 1. In amount, we have mentioned field number 4. I will explain you the expression little later. And then we have the department as field number 3, entity as field number 2. Then in case of the HSP view, we haven't mentioned it in the data sheet. So here we are doing hardcore mapping in this case. So HSP view is base data, product is no product, and the version is working. So now I will move to the amount. So in amount, I will click on this pencil sign to add the expression. So here the expression type that we have selected is sign, and expression value is debit, credit. Okay. So we have already added it. As we are loading trial balance with the sign debit credit, so it is important to mention this in the mapping. After that, I will save it, and then I will go to the location. So here I have already created the location named LOC underscore TBAL. So I need to identify that. So here it is LOC underscore TBAL. So here I have named it as named the location here, and the import format is I have selected here with the help of the search icon, and the system will automatically pick the source and the target. After selecting this, I will then save the changes that I made to the location, and then I will go to the workflow. So here I will go to the data load mapping. So here I will select the location here. So the location was LOC underscore TBAL. And the period here was December 22. As it was a historical data, and it was an actual data. So we are loading it in the December 22 period. So category here is current. Wait, I'll show you the category first. So the category of mapping here is current. The target category will be actual. Okay, again I will go to the workflow. So here we have done the like mapping. So here we have done like mapping for accounts. We don't need to map the data as I've already explained before. Then here we have the department, then the entity, then HSP view, product, and the version dimension. Here I have done the hardcore mapping. It is not required. If you want, you can go with the light mapping as well. Then I will go to the data load rules. Okay, here now I will add a data load rule with the help of this green plus sign. I will mention it as DLR underscore TBAL 1, and I will select the import format, which is IMF underscore TBAL, and here I will select the file name which we have already uploaded here. So we have uploaded the file with the help of this upload, and then we will choose the file location. Okay, so here I already have with me, so I don't need to do it. So the file name here is tbal underscore custfs.csv. I will then click on OK, and I will select the file, and then I will save it. After saving it, I will execute the rule. So I will import and then export to the target application. Then here I will replace the data and then run the rule. And then I will refresh it. So here we have the status as green tick, which shows that the data is being loaded successfully. And we have got the 3 fishes over here. Now we will create a smart view connection and check whether the data is being loaded or not. So I will then create a smart view connection. Okay, so here now I will mention the base data as HSP view, scenario as actual, as I have already explained you that we are loading historical data, and the version is working. Then product here will be no product. Department here is, let me check what is the department over here, 101. Here is FY 22 and the period here is December. I will then refresh the sheet. Okay, now I will mention the entity over here, which is 10,000, and then I will refresh it. So the account name here was 10,105. I will copy it. And then I will refresh it. Okay, I need to mention it one by one. Now we have got the data with us. Okay, so the data is exactly the same. So hence our data is also loaded. So tomorrow we will see the balance sheet and cash flow statement in detail. For any more queries, please feel free to ask. Thank you.